Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and do we have a good one for you today? So before we get into looking at stocks, I just want to give you a breakdown of things that have been happening. So the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the First Lady have contracted COVID-19. It's really big news, but it really shouldn't be that big of news. Why? Because again, if this is the world's deadliest virus and it's so contagious, then wouldn't it make sense that people get the virus? So again, regardless, it's just funny how the media twists things. So again, yes, he has contracted COVID-19. Should it be a surprise? No, it shouldn't be a surprise because the media told you this is the world's most deadliest virus. It's the most contagious virus. So yeah, it would make sense that someone like Donald Trump catches the virus. So stop freaking out. Secondly, we have passed another coronavirus relief bill for $2.2 trillion. So I got to thank the American people for allowing themselves to do such a stupid thing. Okay, yes, it is going to help some people. Yes, people are going to get money and it's going to help them, but you really are just shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, getting this relief money is like taking heroin. Okay, every time you take it, you end up becoming worse, right? That's what happens when you take drugs that are really, really bad for you. The more you take it, the worse you get, okay? It's the same thing with the money from the government. The more you ask them to print, the more money you actually lose. But how? Every time they print your dollars, the United States dollar loses value. So you lose purchasing power every time you ask the government to print money. Secondly, when you ask the government to print money, really, it's you asking for a loan with interest to be paid back at a later date, okay? So one, you lose money because you're devaluing your own currency. Two, you are really just taking out a loan with interest that has to be paid back. So a fun fact for you, each and every American or United States citizen is now going to have to pay about $25,000 for all of these relief packages that you guys so choose to get and or receive. Let me rephrase that. If you take all the money that we have loaned, right, or if you take all the money that we asked for to pay back with interest, okay, and then you divide that amongst like all the people living in the United States, everybody would have to pay back $25,000, okay? Did you receive $25,000 throughout all the stimulus money? No, you didn't. So basically, you just got screwed, okay? It's so picture perfectly clear, but I don't understand how people don't get this. It just blows my mind. So the way that the media should be telling people this is, we have just passed a new $2.2 trillion loan that the American people are going to have to pay back. And with all the previous loans they took out for the coronavirus pandemic, each and every individual is going to end up paying about $25,000 in taxes. Yet you did not receive $25,000. So again, you got duped, people. Duped again. And it's going to happen over and over and over. And the best thing I can do is just try to help you. So what we're looking at here on my screen is the United States dollar. Look at that. It's going down today. That's weird. We were just kind of going up, but now we're going down. Well, it makes sense because we're printing $2.2 trillion. That is going to devalue your currency. And then look at what happened to gold. Gold spiked like crazy last night because, again, any sort of printing of more money is good for gold. How long have we been telling you to buy gold? Okay, same thing with Peter Schiff. The people that are actively in the market and looking at all these stupid decisions that are made by people that have no clue, anyways, it blows my mind. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're still going to be long bias gold. We're still going to be long bias silver, all the precious metals, because again, the actions that the American people are taking on behalf of Congress and Senate, it's just stupid. It's terrible for your money supply, and it's not good. It's going to help people in the short term, but long term, it's even worse for them, and it's just a fact. Okay, so now let's just get into actually looking at the market rather than scaring everybody today. So market pulls back. We basically just hit support. So for right now, we can't really be bearish the market until we crack through this. As we stated before, we can't be bearish the market until we crack through this 4-hour trending support here. And now it's at 331. You can see we came down this morning, peaked to it, bounce, came down again, peaked to it, bounce. So again, really no need to be extremely bearish on like a play on the market until you're below that level. Look what's happening. You see that level I put on the chart? Bounce, below, bounce, hold, bounce. So we already know what support now. It's going to be that 331.19 price point, which is that it's that 4-hour trend there. Okay, so until the markets actually successfully go through that point, you really shouldn't see a bigger drastic sell-off. Okay, and if in the event they do go through that point, you don't really have any trending support back down until 321, at least for the time being. Let me double check this time frame. Yep. So If this market cracks here, you could even suggest we see some weakness that takes us back down to that 321 price, okay? Now we can go take a look at the NASDAQ. That was the SPY, so we'll go look at the Qs. So if you look at the Qs, you guys will remember from our past live streams that we pretty much told you that this trend line was going to be resistance, and you're not going to get a big breakout until you go over that trend line. Well, we could not successfully pass that trend line before we got the news of Donald Trump getting COVID and whatever wanted to bring the market down. So yes, we are still holding down resistance right now, and until we can successfully cross over our trending resistance at 281 right now, you're not going to see further upside moves in the QQQ market, okay? Now, let's take a look at the daily chart. Okay, if in fact we pull back more, we do have our trending support at 271.81. So we could suggest in the event the markets can't break up, like we just said, you can expect a pullback maybe back down to the 272 to 271 price point on the Qs or the NASDAQ. All right, now let's go forward and take a look at something like Apple, and then we'll take a look at Tesla. Apple gap down. Why did Apple gap down? Because the market gap down. Because Donald Trump have COVID and the whole world's gonna end. That's why. All right. So you can see here, maybe it's the daily chart. Yep, so daily chart, like we mentioned, we bounced. We went right to our half standard deviation resistance point at about 118, 119, 117. Could not break through. Guess what happens? We pull back down. So interestingly enough, on this chart, unlike the S&P 500, you could see we were holding support today. Apple's below the support. So now we have resistance on Apple at 115.11. So this is a situation where you honestly might see the market bounce up back to 115 today and then start to resist and then kind of fall back into a short. So for me, I would probably be a little bit long biased maybe to start the day, look for an up move back to the 115s and then maybe retrace down. Now, why would I also be looking for Apple to move back up to the 115s and then retrace back down? Well, because the S&P 500 is down quite a bit this morning and QQQ is down quite a bit this morning. And it might be easier to bounce the indexes and bounce stocks this morning before going short, right? We had such a big decrease overnight. Anybody who is short overnight could be looking to cover into the morning. Anybody who thought that this morning was a good dip buy could be buying into the dip. So I see that it's easier for the markets to move up before bearish starting the day. Hopefully that plays out. Now let's go over to Tesla. If you guys remember, we did mention a small little mini bull flag that Tesla had right here that would probably break up and go tag the 4-hour resistance mark. Or there was a daily chart one. No daily chart one, just a 4-hour. So if you guys remember just from a couple days, we mentioned this little bull flag here on Tesla. You could play for a move up to that 447 mark. We have just rejected that, but that's also because the market got all crazy last night with the Trump news and the COVID thing. Which, may I point this out, okay? This could actually work in favor of Donald Trump, okay? And this is really just to enlighten you guys on how politics works, right? So in the news right now, you're hearing, oh, Donald Trump has COVID-19. Oh, he's such an idiot. He said it wasn't bad, or blah, blah, blah. Or Donald Trump has COVID-19. This could be really bad, or whatever they're saying. Right? I'm not even listening. I just know what they're saying because it's the media. They're idiots. So right now, the media is probably, pulling this story every which way they can to get clicks, right? And in the end, if Donald Trump survives this, that's going to look really, really good because he's been saying, don't worry about it, it'll be okay, don't worry about it, it'll be okay. So then he contracts COVID-19 and then he beats COVID-19 in the lickety-split of time. What do you think that's going to make the whole narrative about this being the world's deadliest virus look like? Again, he's going to use this to his advantage. So for the people out there, this is how politics works, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're on the blue side and you're thinking that you guys are all pretty cozy this morning because that happened, not so quick, because he could very well turn this around on your guys if he in fact beats it. Now, again, I'm not picking sides here. I'm just telling you the way this stuff works, okay? So let's move forward. There's been a couple stocks here today. XTNT. This one's been popping up. It's kind of at resistance already. I don't really have too much faith in this one. It looks okay, not really crazy about it. If you want to follow it, go ahead. There's been a lot of momentum in the penny stock, so maybe we got enough FOMO traders to push us up above the 191. Okay, let me go back and show you. Again, right here, that's the 4-hour trending resistance on the 4-hour chart. And then the daily chart had resistance at 217. So if we go and take a look at all these points, you can say 170, 197, 222. So this is all kind of a resistance zone, and I would see it pretty hard for the markets to get above the 220. If they do, it's a surprise to me, and I wouldn't be long biased much over that 220. Even if it keeps going, I wouldn't be long biased because the shorts are going to come in and smack it back down. All right, next one on the list here I'll talk about is CEMI, which is really, it's really just so sad because today I bought shares of short on Lightspeed. Okay, I go to Lightspeed. I'm like, hey, I want to short this. So I bought shares of short up here at 570. It was going short here, 570 to catch that move down. Okay, guess what? I buy 3,000 shares short, cost me 60 bucks. And then I go to short and they go, oh, not shortable. So it's like, okay, sure. So how are you going to charge me money for shares to short and then tell me that I can't short the stock? Okay, that doesn't even make sense. It really makes zero sense. That's like going to a Coney Island, looking at the menu and saying, oh, it costs $5 for a burger. Here's $5. And go, actually, we don't have any burgers. It's like, oh, well, thanks, jackass. Makes no fucking sense. Okay, it's cool. So I just missed a fantastic play today. We would already be up, close to $1,000 if that would have worked, but whatever. At least I get to go on vacation today. So CEMI, this is just an absolute turd. I wouldn't even mess with this anyone. I mean, it doesn't even, I'm going to tell you right now, plain and simple, like, I have no clue what I'm going to do today. Okay, I have zero clue. There's really not much I'm even looking at this point. Everything's just all kind of in shambles this morning. Donald Trump's going to die of COVID. He's not going to die of COVID. He's going to surpass COVID. Then he's going to use it against the media. I mean, there's so many stories out there going around today that all I'm going to do is play the market by ear, and all I can say is I think we have market bounce, and then we're going to try and see a rejection, but I wouldn't look to be extremely bearish the market unless you're breaking the 331. So maybe we got a short play when we break the 331 trending support on the 4-hour chart. If not, maybe we bounce back up and hit 330.69 into the 334.56, and then we're going to reject. Sorry for being so quick today. But that's it. There's really, I mean, we could literally run over any stock you want, and I could tell you the play. Okay, so like NIO, right? You guys remember just the other day I told you NIO had support around $20.42. Well, look what happened. It went to $20.42, and now it's bouncing. Okay, right there, dink, boom. Well, that's the 4-hour trending support, but I mapped off the daily chart trending support. So as I was mentioning, had the resistance, pulled back down to the 2050s to 20, then we bounced. So I'm not really a big fan of NIO at this point. There's really nothing there for me to trade. I think WKHs got some negative news that they knew of, something being bad with their chassis. I don't know, maybe that was something that, maybe I'm mistaken. But for those of you looking at WKHs, just know that you really, if you're trying to be short, you're not going to get a big breakdown move until you snap below this 2283. So right now, the bulls are in defense mode to hold WKHs over $22.74. In the event we crack through 22.74, pretty much anybody that bought this dip from the previous day and kind of bought down here might be starting to get a little nervous. They might panic out and start dropping the stock a little bit more. So if you're watching WKHs, just make sure that you keep an eye on the 22.72 mark. Okay, and then while you're at it, make sure you comment anything on this channel. You can comment wiener, you can comment silly, you can comment Trump has COVID. I mean, I don't care what you comment on this video. Just comment anything. KLJLOMNOP. Whatever you want. Just make sure you do it, because then the YouTube algorithm is going to be like, hey, this is a good video, and then we're going to push it, and everybody's going to know exactly all the levels to watch for on these stocks. And then also make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much, because I got to get in front of Ricky Gutierrez's video. I don't know how to do it. I might just have to flash my Corvette. I might just have to flash my Dodge Ram. I don't know. I might have to flash something. I do have a gold bracelet laying around somewhere. I just got to find it. And then maybe I flash that. And then all of a sudden, YouTube's going to be like, he's amazing, and he's going to promote all his videos. I don't know. I don't know what I got to do. Maybe I got to take my shirt off. Like, I have no idea. But I'm trying, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying. But again, I get to go on vacation day, so that's nice. Something you guys might be interested in is TWLO. This stock had earnings. It shot up. Right now, you are literally at the most significant point you could be at for a gigantic rip, okay? I gotta say, because I'm not the optimistic, I'm more of a pessimistic person when it comes to the market, or maybe not. I don't have any clue. You tell me. Comment below. Am I pessimistic or am I optimistic? You tell me. You be the judge. So, do we here have a big rip or do we not? So, this is a situation where typically on an intraday time frame, we would not look to go long. Okay, we would say go bearish, because we had the move, right? Look at this move all the way back up to where? The trending resistance, okay? So typically when we go up there first time, we'd sell down. Now we already did do that arguably. You see how we went up and then we kind of sold back down, and now we're holding it. You see how we dropped right back down to it? So it's kind of one of those things where you might want to play it by ear. Typically we wouldn't look to go long this because it's the first attempt move to break our trending support. Typically doesn't work. but it's also earnings, right? Earnings can add that additional catalyst and keep it running. So, you know what? We're just going to say go bearish first, watch for it to pull back down, maybe to 275, and then look for it to hold, okay? But TWLO had a fantastic move, and I got to say that it was a gigantic move. It just hit trending resistance. You got to be bearish to start the day, and then maybe you'll be long bias at a later point. But for now, can't really suggest being too long bias that market for the time being, okay? We could take a little peek at SLV. Let's do that. Let's take a look at silver and we'll take a look at gold. You guys know I'm a big advocate for this. You can see here we had, went on the not parabolic, but we went on a really nice move. We dropped out. Where did we go to? We pretty much went right back down to the trending support and we started to bounce. The TTM is starting to shift to yellow, which could suggest a squeeze back up. I think it's going to take more time to really get this to return anywhere close to prices of about 25. So really just kind of hanging out, sitting on silver for right now. When silver dipped all the way back down to 20s, I was buying more of it. So put another couple $1,000s into silver when we dipped down here. I already bought a lot of gold right here. I bought a lot of gold not too long ago, right there at that dip of 179. So as we snapped down, I didn't actually lose any money on my total position because I had been buying gold since back in this move. So I was loading up on gold and silver here, loading up like crazy here, loaded up like crazy there, and then went on the rip, and I even thought we'd get another pop here. So I put a little bit in, not a ton, but I did put a good chunk of change for me in there. And we dipped down, so that kind of, I was a little salty about that. But, nonetheless, you can see, look what happened this morning. Gold peaked all the way to 183. Right? Like, why would gold go all the way to 183? Trump has COVID, world's going to end. Number two, the American people just decided to take out another $2.2 trillion loan that has to be paid back with interest. Again, I really wish the media would put their headlines to be accurate, like make their headlines accurate. It's not a relief bill. It's not a stimulus bill. It's a loan with interest. It's basically you taking out a car loan with interest. But except your car costs $2.2 trillion. Idiot. Anyways, I love you guys. That's all we got for you today. I had the best sleep I had in probably weeks last night, so I'm a little fired up, as you guys can see. So with that being said, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.